Hello, I'm Orit. So, in this lecture, in our previous lecture, we all already know that what is polarization and how the polarization is done by the reflection. Okay, so in our this lecture, we have tried to develop the polarization is done by the refraction. Okay, so why we need the refraction method? The reflection method is enough for the polarization. So why we need the refraction? Okay, now you can see. Suppose this is the incident light with an polarization angle. So there is a this light wave have a two plane of vibration. One is parallel to the axis, another one is perpendicular to the axis. Clear? Suppose this one is 100 the intensity is 100, okay, of the parallel to the vibration wave, and the perpendicular to the vibration wave is also the intensity is 100%. But after the reflection, the polarized light have the intensity of 15%. This one is 100%, but this one is 100%. But after reflection, the plane of perpendicular intensity of the plane of perpendicular vibration have only 15% is reflected. Rest of the vibration is transmitted. So this one is 100%, and this one is become 85%. When you calculate the intensity, it is almost become 15 by 185 into 100. It is equal to 8%. So only 8% intensity is available in the polarized light done by the reflection. Is it clear? So the intensity of the polarized light is very much lower. So this is not be capable for any other optical phenomena. If you try to use this light in another optical method or any optical phenomena or any application of the optics, this is not be happened by through this polarized light, because the intensity of this polarized light is very much lower. This is polarized light, polarized. This one is partially polarized. This was a unpolarized. Is it clear? So you have to increase the intensity of the polarized light. So that's why you need the polarization by the refraction. How it is work? We get some transparent slab with a minimum thickness of distance between the two slab. The distance between two slab must be in order of one depth of the paper, like that. Okay, suppose this is the we get. I am drawing here 4 slab of transparent material. Okay, so now if I incident a unpolarized light with an IP angle, so the 8% is reflected by through the surface, and 98% intensity is remaining. Okay, so sorry, so that means here this one which is parallel to the axis have 100% intensity, but which is perpendicular have 85% intensity, because only 15% is released from the release. Okay, so after the second, from the second slab is also released 15%. The polarized, unpolarized. So by through this method we deduct the every plane by through the every slab of reflection we deduct the perpendicular plane of vibration by 15%, 15%, 50%. But ultimately, after the various slab of reflection, we get only this one which is parallel to the paper. Is it clear? By the various number of slab is available, every slab deduct the intensity of the perpendicular of the polarized the perpendicular of the paper light wave. So it is deducted by the every reflection. So in the last method we get the fully polarized light with a full intensity. So this one is called fully polarized light. It is parallel to the plane. So for this method we need only 10 glass slab for this experiment. Is it clear? By through the 10 glass slab we can easily get a full polarized light with a maximum intensity, and this polarized light must be parallel to the paper. Okay, and the angles between those slab is 37.5 degree. Is it clear for everyone? Okay, so we so what is polarization by the refraction? Is it clear for everyone? So in our next part we have to try to understand, we try to prove that the law of Moule. Law of Moule. So what is law of Moule? Law of Moule says that I is equal to I0 cos square theta. Now we try to prove this one. Okay, so when we try to light is polarized or unpolarized, it is, suppose here is a axis, the light is traveling through, this is vibrating along the paper, this is perpendicular to the paper, light is traveling through this axis. If you put a crystal, tourmaline crystal is here, I am put a tourmaline crystal, and this is the crystallographic axis. So now this one is parallel to the parallel plane of vibration is parallel to the crystallographic axis, so easily be transmitted by through this tourmaline crystal, but the perpendicular axis does not be transmitted because it is perpendicular to the crystallographic axis. Okay, now after the polarization, so this is the polarized light by through the tourmaline crystal. So this is the polarized light or unpolarized light. How we know? Because by through this method. Okay, so this is the unpolarized light, it is incident through a tourmaline crystal, is perpendicular to the plane of vibration, parallel, the plane of vibration is parallel and the perpendicular is not parallel to the crystallographic axis. That's why this one is restricted by the tourmaline crystal, but this one is easily transmitted through this material. Okay, so this is the polarizer. Okay, this one we call polarizer. Now we put another one is here, tourmaline crystal. Now this one is called analyzer. this one is called this is polarized or unpolarized. If it is parallel to the polarized light, we can get a polarized light. But when you rotate this tourmaline crystal with a 90-degree angle, and it is the crystallographic axis is now perpendicular to the plane of vibration, then we cannot get any type of light. So through this method we can easily prove that this light wave, after the polarization, this light wave is polarized or unpolarized. So that means, when suppose this is the polarizer, this is P, this is A, when P and A is parallel, we get the high intensity. For this method, for this structure, actually intensity is high, the maximum intensity, but P, angle between P and A is 90 degree, no light, because the axis will be changed for this structure. Okay, so this, when you rotate this analyzer for a certain angle, you get the intensity is decreases. But when you put this analyzer with a 90 angle with the polarizer, you cannot get any type of weight. But before when you put these both are in a 90-degree angle, in between the parallel to the perpendicular, you get some light, and light is decreasing from the parallel to the perpendicular. But that means when it is parallel, it is the maximum light is transmitted through the analyzer. When you try to rotate you just see the intensity is decreases, and when you put the analyzer in a 90 degree, you cannot get any type of light. So this formula shows that the intensity of the light is depend on the theta angle of the analyzer. This theta is nothing but the angle of the analyzer. Clear for everyone? Now we try to prove this one through this diagram. Okay. So suppose I am drawing here a plane of wave. Suppose this is the polarizer. So this is the crystallographic axis. It is parallel to the plane of vibration, so it is easily be transmitted. Okay, now we have put a analyzer with a certain angle. Clear? With a certain angle. Suppose the amplitude of this vibration is A, so that means which component of the A is parallel to this analyzer? It is parallel to the analyzer, so this one is called a cos theta, because this angle between analyzer and polarizer, the angle between polarizer and analyzer is theta. So this one is another component, a sin theta. Is it clear for everyone? That means when the unpolarized light is coming from the source of the light, after it is transmitted through the polarizer, it is become polarized light. But when this polarized light is tried to transmitted through a analyzer with a certain angle, the total amplitude of this vibration A is not transmitted through this polarizer. This A cos theta component is transmitted through this polarizer, because this A cos theta, now this A cos theta is parallel to the analyzer of the a crystallographic axis of the analyzer. Is it clear for everyone? This one is transmitted through this polarizer. It is parallel to this one, but this total A cannot be transmitted through this polarizer because there is the dimension of A and the crystallographic axis not in a parallel angle, but the component of the A cos theta is parallel to the analyzer. So A cos theta can easily transmitted through this polarizer. Clear? So that means and we know that intensity is proportional to the amplitude square. So I equal to A cos theta whole square, or I is equal to A square cos square theta, or I is equal to I0 cos square theta, or I is proportional to cos square theta. This is the Maull's law. Clear? When theta is equal to 0, the polarizer and analyzer 2 are parallel to each other. Polarizer and analyzer is parallel to each other. So I is become 1. Intensity is maximum when cos theta value is become 1. When theta is value is 90 degree, that means polarizer is perpendicular to analyzer. The I intensity is become 0, cos theta is become 0. Is it clear? This is the proof of Maull's law of Maull's. Okay. In the next, so okay, we are starting from the first. So today we have to know about the what is reflection. By the reflection method, we get the only 50% intensity of the light, which light is vibrating along the perpendicular to the paper. But for the any optical application, we need the maximum intensity of the light. That's why we now try to develop another method of the polarization. Is this polarization is done by the reflection. In this method, we use a various number of slabs, and every slab light is polarized. The perpendicular axis is directed by the every slab, but the parallel plane of vibration is not be directed by the any process. So in an ultimate whole process, we get a fully polarized parallel plane of axis which is parallel to the paper. This one is a fully polarized light. Actually, by through the glass slab, we need a 10 glass for this experiment. Okay. So in the next part, we have to know about the what is law of Maull's, how it is work. We just put a polarizer analyzer. We can see that the polarizer can polarize this ordinary light wave, but analyzer, when you rotate the analyzer along with the axis, we can see that the intensity will be changed, and which condition is responsible for the change of the intensity we are developed here, and it is coming I is equal to I0 cos theta. Okay, so this is the end of today's video. In our next lecture, we try to understand the what is scattering of the by the polarization. Scattering by the polarization. Okay, so clear? Thank you. Bye.